Hey there, Tom here from the Run Testers with another running shoe versus. In this video, I'm going to be comparing the On Cloudboom Max with the Asics Megablast. Let's have a look. The Asics Megablast costs £210 or $225. It weighs 225 grams or 7.9 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 8mm. The On Cloudboom Max costs £220 or $230. It weighs 283 grams or 10 ounces for men in a size 8, and the drop is 8mm. The Megablast is the new super trainer on the block, following on from the widespread popularity of the excellent Superblast and Superblast 2. It's a running shoe designed to deliver a lightweight, responsive ride across a range of sessions, aiming for increased versatility over its older siblings. It does that with an FF Turbo squared midsole designed to balance a cushioned and smooth ride with a high level of energy return with each step. The Asics Grip outsole is built to enhance traction and control, supporting smooth acceleration and efficient energy use. And the engineered woven upper is both lightweight and breathable, keeping your feet cool when picking up the pace. Where the Cloudboom Strike is focused on seasoned racers, the Cloudboom Max is designed for marathon runners of all levels. The Max Stacked midsole is designed to provide a balance of softness and responsiveness for tackling 26.2 miles, while the glass fibre infused speedboard and updated shoe geometry aims to improve efficiency for those wanting a 4 to 4.5 hour marathon. The midsole is made from a dual layer of Helion HF Hyperfoam for improved energy and comfort, along with more support and cushioning than many elite-focused super shoes. There's a light, breathable mesh upper that molds and adjusts to your foot's movement over long distances, and a generous rubber outsole to ensure a high level of grip and protection for the midsole foam. So the fit for me in these two shoes, the On Cloudboom Max, I'm a size 8 in the UK, this is a size 8. There's not a lot of space in this shoe, so my big toe is very, very close to the end of this shoe, and every time I go out and wear it, I get a little bit concerned that it is really, really close. I've not had any issues with rubbing, but I can feel my toe touching the edge. I haven't run a marathon in the shoe, which is what it's designed for. I'd be very worried running a marathon in the shoe in my UK size 8, because I think that I would end up rubbing the end of the shoe. So I would size up half a size in the On Cloudboom Max. The fit across the rest of the shoe is actually fine. The midfoot's fairly average width, and the forefoot space is pretty good, and there's a nice little bit of padding around it as well, so it's a relatively comfortable shoe apart from the fact that it's a little bit short. The Asics Megablast is sort of the opposite. There's quite a lot of space before my big toe. I'd probably say size down half a size in the Megablast. I've been fine with this. I probably wouldn't size down, but if you're really on it with the space in the shoe, then you might want to size down half size in this. It's quite a roomy shoe as well. There's loads of space around the forefoot. There's loads of space around the midfoot as well. So it's definitely a shoe that's got a lot of wiggle room in it. It's got a nice big bit of padding at the back as well. So it's a very comfortable shoe to wear. Really, really comfortable, in fact. But you might want to size down half size. I would stay to my UK size 8 in this shoe though. Okay, so the reason that I'm doing this versus is because the On Cloudboom Max is an interesting shoe, because On talk about it being a race shoe designed for 4-hour marathoners. And I have done quite a lot of running this. I've run about 70k in this shoe so far. And I'm not entirely sure if a 4-hour marathoner really needs a specific shoe, especially one that costs quite a lot of money. The On Cloudboom Max is a pretty solid all-round shoe. It does have a plate which runs through it, and it is designed to benefit 4-hour marathon runners over the course of a race. What I found about the shoe is that it ticks a lot of boxes. I think the main benefit of the shoe for 4-hour marathon runners is that it's a bit more stable, so you get a little bit more support while you're out there running, which is obviously a nice benefit, but really that's the only benefit I can think of that you're going to get from this shoe. It does feel like a performance shoe, but it doesn't feel like a particularly fast performance shoe. It feels relatively heavy on the feet. It doesn't feel like a lightweight race shoe. It feels like a shoe which is more like a super trainer, and is designed for consistent pace rather than picking up the pace and running quick and feeling light and quick on the feet. It does that fine, but I think it really is just a super trainer. I don't really see the benefits of this shoe as a race shoe, especially 4 hours. All the training that I've done in it is at about 5 minute 20 kilometers, which is my easy pace, which I tend to go out and run most of my runs at. And that's essentially a 4 hour marathon pace. That's what the pace that you'd be running at if you were using a shoe to do what its intended purpose is. And it's fine at that pace. I don't really feel like it's doing a lot above and beyond most of my other shoes that I use for that pace, that don't necessarily are not designed for running at that pace. They're just comfortable shoes that are designed for any pace. So I'm not really getting a lot from this shoe to explain why it's designed for that purpose, apart from that stability side of things. I think it's fine. I think it does a good job. It's very comfortable. It's a relatively smooth shoe to run in, but it's definitely a shoe that I feel is really conducive to running long distances at a nice consistent pace, like you would do in a marathon. The only other thing I would say as well is that because it's a bit sturdier, it's a bit firmer, it's got this sort of quite dense lower midsole foam, and it's pretty firm midsole, and because of that, it's probably better for heavier runners because you're getting a little bit more shoe density there to sort of hold you up and keep you nice and supported. But that's really the only other benefit I can think of this shoe. It's fine, it does the job, but I don't really know if it needs to exist for a 4 hour marathon runner. The Asics Megablast, the reason I've thrown this one in is because I just did Loch Ness Marathon a few weeks ago, and I was going to use the Cloudboom Max to do it because my plan was to run a 4 hour marathon. I went out with Nick, and my aim was purely just for a nice comfortable marathon, and I wanted to finish and feel pretty good. Basically, I wasn't planning on sprinting and doing any fast sections or anything like that. I just wanted to have a nice comfortable marathon and have a nice weekend away. So the Cloudboom Max, because it's a 4 hour marathon shoe, I was planning on using it for it because it would have been the perfect test for it. But in testing, what I found was that once I got to about half marathon distance, I wasn't really enjoying the shoe that much. It didn't feel like it was giving me a lot of bounce. Didn't really feel like it was giving me a lot of performance benefits. It felt fine. I could run a marathon in this shoe. When I'm running a marathon at a comfortable pace, that sort of distance, I want it to be really comfortable, and I want it to feel like the shoe is making it fun and nice. So I went for the Asics Megablast instead, which is a great choice for that marathon. Asics Megablast feels a bit lighter on the feet. It feels a bit bouncier. It's got a smoother transition to it. It's not as stable because it's a little bit softer in the midsole, but it's still quite a balanced midsole foam. It's not by no means a squishy midsole. But for Loch Ness Marathon, I started running at about 5 minute 20 to 5 minutes 20 pace, and it felt so comfortable. It's got this nice wide base on it. It's just a smooth turnover in the shoe. It was the perfect race to wear it in. It just felt really nice for the whole distance, and at the end I really picked up the pace, and I think I ran the last couple of kilometers in about 4 minute kilometers, and it felt great for that as well. It's a much more versatile shoe than what you're going to get from the Cloudboom Max, which isn't meant to be a versatile shoe. On do state that it's designed for a very specific pace and finish time for a marathon, so there's no you shouldn't expect versatility with a shoe. Megablast does have a lot of versatility though. It's a very nice shoe to pick up the pace in. It's definitely not the fastest interval shoe out there, but it's a lot more versatile than the Superblast, and definitely a shoe that you can use for a lot more stuff, definitely a lot more than the Cloudboom Max. So I think the big difference for me between these two shoes is that apart from that, the Cloudboom Max has got that a plate running through it. It's just that there's a lot more life in the Megablast for me. It's bouncier, it feels a bit lighter on the feet, it feels like it's helping you out, and it felt so comfortable. I don't think I've ever run a marathon where I've felt like the shoe was as comfortable as this Megablast. I don't normally run marathons in non-carbon plate shoes, but I definitely felt by the end of this that my feet felt great, and I don't normally have that feeling at the end of a marathon. I normally have at least some sort of hot spot or something on my feet where I feel like the carbon plate shoes are getting a little bit uncomfortable. Not with the Megablast. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, definitely big differences between these two shoes. And the outsole. So the outsole on the Cloudboom Max, pretty good, very thick. Despite being a performance shoe for racing, it is actually a pretty sturdy, thick outsole rubber on that. So and no signs of me destroying the outer section like I normally do on race shoes. The Megablast, pretty good as well. Not as much coverage on some of these sections, and that midsole is definitely a little bit more delicate than what's on the Cloudboom Max. But good bit of rubber on it, a good bit of grip. So yeah, pretty similar outsole on both of them. So my verdict on these two shoes, you probably guessed from the overview that I did there with the run test. So I know these aren't comparable shoes necessarily, but I don't think there are many comparable shoes with the On Cloudboom Max. So you're not going to compare it with normal carbon plate race shoes because they're designed in a very different way. They're not designed specifically for a 4-hour marathon. So it's a pretty tough shoe to compare with other race shoes. I really think it's a super trainer, or at least working towards being a super trainer. So it's a shoe that has many of the performance benefits of a race shoe, but it's actually more designed for consistent pace and be a bit more durable for more training and things like that. So if you're looking at it in terms of that realm, and you compare it with the Megablast, the problem is it's a bit sturdier, it's a bit more support in it, but it also makes it a little bit heavier on the feet. It feels a bit firmer and not as comfortable and cushioned to run in. There's definitely less bounce, there's definitely less comfort in this shoe, I would say, as opposed to the Megablast. Whereas the Megablast, it just feels very light on the feet, very, very smooth to run in, nice and natural to run in as well, and it just has a lovely smooth heel to toe transition. So there's a lot of difference between these two shoes. And the other reason that I picked these two shoes is they are very similar price. The On Cloudboom Max is more expensive than the Megablast, which is one of the most expensive trailing shoes out there. So the On Cloudboom Max being more expensive is quite a big deal. I mean, if you're really into On and you love On shoes and you desperately want to get these, you probably will pay for that. But if you've got the Megablast as a cheaper alternative to the On Cloudboom Max, which I think does the job a lot better, that's a pretty big plus point for a very, very expensive shoe like the Megablast. So yeah, I'm going to say that for me, the Megablast is a far superior shoe, whether you're racing, whether you're training, whether you're doing easy runs. The only difference or the only benefit I can see from the Cloudboom Max is that little bit more stability and durability and sturdiness to the shoe. But really, I'm less bothered about that if I'm going out racing, which is what the shoe is designed for. I'm more bothered about having those performance benefits. So I'm going to go for the Asics Megablast all the way. You're probably not surprised by that. That's it from me on this Versus. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that little bell. And again, catch you below. You can find it to our podcast, which comes out a couple of times each time. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you next time.